Hey everyone, this is EpixRS recording our second episode of our podcast/YouTube videos.
This is Valinet of the Terranus server.
And this is Aeonknight from the Terranus server from the WoWGoldTitans.
Yes, start remembering the name.
So today we're going to be talking about a couple of things that we feel you should know prior to moving on to the main content and main purpose of why we set up these podcast/YouTube videos.
So the first thing we're going to do, since people will probably want to know what we play on and what we use to game with, we'll be able to redirect them back to episode 2. So I play on a Mac Pro. Yes, that's right. I'm an Apple fan. I'm using 10 gigabytes of RAM. Pretty decent graphics card. It's able to power my two 20-inch widescreen cinema displays, which is very nice. In the process of upgrading my power supply and motherboard, but I'll update you guys when I actually go through with it. That's my desktop. Yep.
And I play both sides. I do use a MacBook Pro 2008 model for my laptop because I do game on the go sometimes. And I also have a desktop that's actually custom built, all parts from newegg.com. It's my MacBook Pro, I honestly will say, is probably better in terms of graphics and handling the game versus my custom built because I still need to upgrade my RAM and upgrade my graphics card because I now use Windows 7 64-bit.
Yeah, and since they just, with Lich King they upgraded the graphics a bit, and they're going to do it even more with Kata, you're definitely going to need to upgrade.
I mean, that's mainly what we both play on. You can say, I guess, I'm dual-spec'd in both OSs, or operating systems, if some of you don't know the acronym. So
I doubt that.
The other topic we're going to be talking about is what add-ons we use to do max DPS, to tank, to heal, help us with gold farming and gold gaining in the World of Warcraft.
And remove the clutter from the screen, because as you guys know, the original UI is pretty big.
Pretty big. It's not bad.
Yeah.
No, we're not knocking Blizzard for having a difficult UI. It's just we like to make our screen open for, the main things we want to see, which is the combat, right?
And the spell effects, especially as a mage. Blizzard, wow, that looks fantastic, but there's all these bars in the way. No, that's not what I want to see.
Or in my case, being a tank, or when either of us are healing on our alts, be able to see what's, going on. So raid awareness is definitely one of those things that we try to strive for when we are picking our add-ons. So one of the first add-ons we ended up we both use really well and hope we can still use when Cataclysm comes out is Bartender 4.
This one takes away the action bars, original 1 through 12 bar with the bar above it. Place it, you can move them around, resize them. You can make it one row of 12 buttons, change it to 2 rows of 6. But it's still considered one bar, so you can have, I think, up to 10 or 12 bars on the screen. I think I use 7 or 8 because, mages are situational. You got to have every spell on there just in case something happens. Slow fall, polymorph, just those weird situations. Ad goes somewhere astray, you got to have that polymorph. Helps in PvP because I can make my first 12 buttons really big so that I can see the cooldown and make sure I click the right button. Yes, I like to click the buttons. I don't always use the keyboard, just more convenient sometimes. And hopefully can keep it. Having a look at the Cataclysm beta that Aeon's in. Don't need to use as many spells so far, so maybe I'll get rid of it. Who knows? Been using that for about 2 years now. Bartender 4.
Yeah, Bartender 4 is great. I mainly tank, and I do have alts that either DPS or heal, but my main goal was to be a tank for this game, and I do love tanking. I do love being up close and personal against bosses and mobs, trying to take them down and keep threat on me. Bartender 4 is great because, like I said, you want to be able to see where everything is, where everyone is, so having that situational awareness and view is always a good thing. Another add-on I use as a tank is called Taunt Master. It's really good. It's basically like Healbot, but it's just for your taunts. And you can see the aggro and health that each player has in a raid or in a party. Valinet and I are in a raid, and he pulls threat. I can either right-click for my Righteous Defense or left-click for my Hand of Reckoning so that I can pull threat off him. he has a warrior, so he can either left click for his standard taunt or right click for his challenging shout. He can even set it up for like other buttons like his mouse 4 or his scroll wheel to do like mocking blow or something like that. It just depends on how you set it up.
Yeah.
But it's really good for the fact that you see which target has threat automatically, and then you can just pull it off as quick as you can.
Yeah, you don't have to target. It does it for you. One button click, target, cast taunt. I haven't used it yet because for some reason I like to tank the hard way with the original UI. I don't use bartender on my tank. It was the first character I made, so that's how I know how to play the character. I have taunt at 5 and it's all the way at the bottom, and I just be really quick with the F1, F2 buttons, or use my mouse quick to get that taunt off.
So I mean, it's another good add-on. One add-on that both of us use mainly for like the auction house stuff or is auctioneer slash auctionator. We use both because they both provide really good information for when it comes to auctions.
Yeah, because it gives you more information than you could see on the auction house. It tells you past bids, current buyouts, just kind of collection of all the data from the auction house.
In no way, shape, or form like hacking. It's actually legal. Blizz allows it,
Yeah, it's everything you could do on your own, but saving you time by doing it for you.
Yeah, so no need for spreadsheets or Excel or documents listing prices that...
A degree in economics.
Yeah, pretty much. You don't need to be Vork from the guild in order to work the auction house.
Start your own loan company.
See, another add-on we use is Healbot. I mean, who honestly is a healer and does not use Healbot? I mean, if you don't, you must be using Grid or something else, or just an epic healer and can do that all by yourself.
Although I do recommend trying out healing, if you've never done healing before, with the original UI. And clicking nameplates and using the function buttons to switch between targets to cast your spells, and then go to Healbot and just see how easy it is to heal. Because it, like the Taunt Master, one click is target, cast spell. That person's healed, and then you can go to somebody else.
Yeah, and it provides, what spells you have on them, the timers that are left on them if you do have HOTS. So, like, I have a Druid healer, so it lets me know when Rejuvenation is wearing off or Regrowth is wearing off, if I need to refresh it, or if the HOT completely fell off of my target and, I just need to re-put it back on there. It really helps. Another thing we use is Decursive, which is great for whether be it you're a tank, your DPS, or heals. You can, depending on which class you are, you can remove diseases, poisons, magics, curses.
Oh yeah, obviously curses.
So it just makes everything easier on your healers and easier for everyone else if you can constantly remove dots off, and it gives you a little warning saying, either you've got a debuff on or someone else has got a debuff on.
Tells you how long it's going for.
Yeah, and you just click either left or right depending on what your class is.
Yeah, depending on how many dispels you have.
We actually do like UI for the character panes and everything.
Yeah, on the group interface on the left.
Yeah, because we've tried other things. I've tried X-Pearl, I've tried Pitbull, I've tried Spartan UI. And, they're great if you want to change it up, but we're perfectly happy with what Blizzard already came up with.
They're decent size. If you do need to click, they're big enough, but they're small enough to be out of the way. It shows, obviously, relative health. You don't need to know how much health they have or mana they have, unless you're a healer, which then you've probably got Healbot, so that's not so much of a worry.
It gives your character the little pet frame so that you can see what your pet's doing, what's their target, how much health they got. So it's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, it also eliminates problems between using other add-ons, because there might be errors or you might not see certain actions or changes because you're using a different UI. By using the original one, you can see if you're in a vehicle, you can click out of a vehicle, which I know some people who have certain add-ons that remove that, they can't get out of a vehicle on their own. They have to be kicked off by the driver, yeah.
I think that's as far as we're going to go with add-ons for right now. We'll talk about more later on as we keep going. But the next topic we want to move on is our server in particular, which is Tyrannus on the U.S. realms. It's a pretty good server. It started up with vanilla WoW.
Yeah.
Was a decent server for a good long while. Had a decent alliance population and horde population.
Yep.
Up until recently, though, I think within the past 6 months, I would say.
Yeah, 6 to 8 months. A lot of people have been trying to get raids going and finding it really difficult. So they've been either faction changing to alliance side of the Terran server, or just leaving the server entirely, which has been kind of disappointing for the rest of us.
So it went from an even balance to horde and alliance when it came to Wintergraphs to 5 alliance to every 1 horde.
Yeah.
Which was, as you all know, when you play Wintergrasp, it's nice to have it when it's even numbers.
Yeah, we've gotten tenacity over 20. It's been pretty brutal. I think a normal night for us at around 8 or 9 p.m., there's about 7 horde trying to storm the fortress. So, needless to say, we don't get very far, and we don't get vaults too often.
And then the other thing is with guilds either transferring out of the server or faction changing or whatever, it's really wrecked the economy.
Oh yeah.
Of the server. It's also wrecked the guild sizes. I mean, Tyrannus is plagued with a ton of little guilds that are starting up. There isn't a single day where someone is spamming saying, "Hey, we're a new guild starting up. We're gonna recruit 70+ leveled players, and we're gonna build all the way to 80 before Cataclysm, and
then we're gonna hopefully raid ICC and take down Lich King." Yeah, right. You're gonna get 14 members at the most, and 3 of them will be on in a week, and that's all you'll get. So there's, I'd say about 10 major guilds. Guilds with over 50 people that there's someone on at all times.
Yeah.
And WoWGoldTitans is one of them.